of this academic year, while empowering students through voice, choice, and action during their learning journey. So these presentations aim at sharing the best and efficient learning ideas, practices, and experiences we have managed to gain or implement, and which best worked for us during this academic year, while learning both face-to-face in blended or hybrid class and remotely in the age of COVID-19. So on the whole, we can say that our students had a rich experience and quite a rich experience and did a great job learning either in person or online. So they managed to involve themselves in various curricular and even extracurricular activities to make the most out of this academic year and grow. Now, when the academic year is about to end, they are keen to share with other teachers and students their stories, feelings, thoughts, and impressions, and to make even new connections. So they will tell you more about the most inspiring and effective activities, team building and civic engagement projects they took part and benefited from, so as to overcome the difficulties of this current learning situation and to achieve even more, because we tried to actually to complain less and work more. So our first we'd like to tell you about Global Youth Service Day, a project promoted by Youth Service America, which activates young people to find their voice, take action, and acquire powerful civic and 21st century skills as they solve problems facing their communities. And our first speaker is Anna Trofim, who sees Global Youth Service Day as a new door to learning and take action. So let's listen to Anna.
Okay, I'll show my screen. Okay. So you can see my screen?
We can see.
Yes.
Yes.
So. Hello everyone, I am Trofimana. I made my studies at Aristotle Lyceum from Chisinau, and today I will talk about my experience in this year of study. My general topic is GYSD, a new door to learning and taking action. This year was my first year of high school. What was your first experience in high school? What thoughts were running through your head at the time? My head felt like it was going to pop off my body. However, this year was somehow captivating and useful, especially the English course. I learned a lot of things, from new words in vocabulary and grammar to how to organize an online event and maintain an audience. I wanted to become more extroverted than I was before. This is the reason why I decided to participate in as many events organized as possible. Among them is the project implemented by Youth Service America, namely GYSD. So why I choose to participate in GYSD? Because in the why I call this project a new door to learning and taking action. Well, because it is designed to encourage youth to participate in community service and service learning. Every year on Global Youth Service Day, youth organizations, schools, and individuals around the world realize thousands of projects. They focus on voluntary community service and range from learning stations about current social and environmental challenges to cleanup actions, nursing home visits, and concerts. And that's why I say that GYSD is a new door to learning and taking action. So, like any another project, it requires certain conditions. The most important, from my point of view, of course, is for the participants to get involved on their own initiative. When young people are forced to join the project, they can no longer be called volunteers. But the GYSD concept provides for voluntary involvement. Furthermore, I discovered that their contribution will make no sense. This is because the work will be done effortlessly, without desire, the result being, of course, satisfactory. In addition, from my own experience, I can say that it's very important to have certain qualities: responsibility, the ability to work in a team, your own well-expressed opinion, and patience, all to ensure a pleasant job and a very good result. My personal tip is to express your opinion freely. Be brave and don't be afraid of challenges. Don't wait for someone to force you and follow Katie Hopkins' words. Don't wait for your ship to enter, swim to it. So, the best important part of my speech is my own experience in GYSD. Experience that was wonderful, and I will definitely repeat it again. I admit, at first I was scared and I had only pessimistic thoughts. Will I succeed? Will I be able to complete the tasks? But then I realized that there was no point in being afraid. I wanted to get involved, then I have to work hard. From the whole class, we formed several small teams so as to ensure a more efficient work and a better result. One fact that makes me very happy to be involved was the team I had. Seriously, I had some wonderful colleagues. Practically, we did everything together, and when I was sad, they made me smile, either through jokes or by telling me clearly and bluntly to end the drama, because we have work to do. In my experience, one benefit I think is that I worked online. So I had the opportunity to meet and work on several platforms on the internet. I even discovered a new passion, graphic design, because I learned to write and edit a poster well. I have improved my ability to speak in public without being shy because I organized an online event in which I had to feel free and express myself correctly. I am always, but always very impulsive, even when I tie my laces, and I was very impressed by the patience I developed being part of the project. Both during and after the project, I get opportunities and benefits. I met new people in the webinar about GYSD. I learned a lot about the work of a volunteer, and I gained experience, which is an opportunity for me in the future. After the project I worked on will be seen and analyzed by many people, I will have the opportunity to participate in several events of this kind, maybe even international. So, as students, we always have unexpected moments, sometimes funny, sometimes not so much, but we always have to learn from them. I also had this kind of moments in this project. The team and I had to make a poster with 10 amazing things about GYSD. The problem was that we was late with the task because no one of us was available. I was in the car and of course, stressed because our poster had to be ready. My luck was that I had my laptop with me. Of course, bad connection, noise, but I finally finished the poster. And by the way, I'm really very proud of the result. That's how I understood that we have to be responsible and punctual. I would categorize my experience as a dynamic one, not always having planned speeches, but improvising them. And of course, I think that's what I think made her special. So, in conclusion, I can say that this year of study was one in which I developed a lot. Through this project, but also through many other ways, I improved as much as possible the skills I had. I discovered some new ones. I had unexpected, unusual moments, but from which I only had to learn. This year, I learned in physical and also online form, and I can say that the effect was the same. I was very impressed by what I achieved, and I became even more eager to get involved in events. So thank you very, very much for listening to me today.
Thank you, Anna. And our second presenter is Cezara Scorțescu. She also is eager to share with you her achievements as a participant in the Global Youth Service Day, the same project, but another team. She is a member of another team. And it should be mentioned that her team are doing quite a great and important job while helping and supporting poor families. For Cezara, Global Youth Service Day project is a way to bring the world into the classroom and to make the classroom as the part of the world. As this project, as she says, changed her life in a positive way. Let's listen to Cezara.
Can you see my presentation?
Yeah, we do.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're well. I'm Scorsescu Cesara, teenager and who wants to be heard. And today I will talk about my GYSD journey. GYSD is a way to bring the world into the classroom and make it the classroom part of the world. This academic year was a whole challenge to me. It remains interesting, remarkable due to the opportunities which were given to me. I was engaged in fascinating and advantageous activities. For instance, I have participated in a book contest. I learned about the miracle of reading books as well as the plenty of benefits it has. Secondly, this year taught me to get used to different circumstances and to act respectively. I experienced a new way of learning by teaching. It literally showed me my potential. But significantly, I was enthralled by the last project I was involved in. It changed my entire personality and made me able to see the world from contrasting perspectives. This international project, named Global Youth Service Day, presumes the implication of young volunteers who are willing to make a change into activities which benefit our community. Therefore, our teacher persuaded us to take part in it and to build a better society for all of us. We formed groups. The group I have been working in consists of 5 girls who have sparkles in their eyes. We formed a group named Be Supportive. We established our goals, which include stopping hunger and stopping poverty. And our motto advises people to be the part of the solution and not the part of the problem. But have you noticed what a major impact the pandemic has had on the world? Well, pandemic has been disrupting the world with a heavy toll on humanity and economics. The quick spread of the virus is a threat to all people that are already in food crisis, low economic activities, but healthcare and others. The pandemic has shaken an already broken food system to its foundation, leaving millions on the brink of starvation. But stopping hunger starts with people, with us. Resilience, courage, creativity. People are extraordinary. With our support, communities can realize a vision of a future free from hunger and poverty. We intended to make this change by helping vulnerable families facing certain difficulties and bringing them a reason to smile again. And with this in mind, we started our charity journey. As soon as we found a family, we analyzed their needs and stepped in. And in the light of this knowledge, we brought them necessary products and supplies. But after visiting the family, we actually realized the conundrum they were dealing with due to the lack of financial resources. But we had no right to step back. We had no right to disappoint those innocent, hopeless, though unyielding eyes which were staring at us. Considering the agony of their heart, our effort turned out to be very important. We found out a lot about their health problems and started looking for solutions. We promoted our project on social media as we planned to. We sent letters to sponsors asking for a contribution which could help the family solve their health problems. And also we talked with national and international companies which could provide kids with necessary devices needed for online learning. And we are still trying to instill the idea of effective altruism in people by sharing our project story, because charity is what brings people together, makes them stronger and more powerful, and helping others in their hard times is an honor. During the project, our members have been showing a high level of communication and collaboration skills. We became a team, we actually became a family. Everybody accomplished specific tasks with altruism and confidence. We were on different boats, but we had the same direction, our aim. And to conclude everything that had been stated so far, we made a sustainable team in which we felt like salient figures for our environment. We brought the world into the classroom and made the classroom part of the world. Talking about myself, this experience was a treasure full of strength, maturity, personal development. I'm pretty sure that this experience made me appreciate life even more than I used to do. I'm glad and very proud that I'm being a part of this journey, which helps some privileged people. The project changed me to a better version of myself. And like Anne Frank said, no one has ever become poor by giving. And I finally want to advise you to make a change in a society, to be the part of the solution, and to take action and to be proud of them. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Cesara. So did the online, pandemic period give you this opportunity to take part in the?
Yes, actually, this time did us is an opportunity to get involved in different projects, and actually this wasn't something that stopped us. We made a lot of we talked a lot on online platforms, yes, and we did a great job. Actually, we're very proud of it.
Okay, so good. Thank you.
Okay, they managed to visit that family. They helped. Of course, they kept the distance. They tried to keep the distance. And it's great because their team could do this, although they are actually they are pupils which studied a Republican Lyceum, and they actually our students are from different parts of our country. But anyway, they managed to even to meet together and to do their charity and contribute and help the others.
So and the next one, yes, Alona, is Juliana, am I right?
Yes, so another unusual project implemented by us this year was learning by teaching and teaching by learning, where our students had to step out of their comfort zone in a way and to deliver a lesson by becoming this way their teachers' co-partners. So our next presenter, as you say, is Juliana Ursan, and she will tell us more about learning by teaching as a different experience to spark and share knowledge and the interest with the other mates.
Okay, did they teach online or did they teach offline?
Differently.
Yes.
We started offline with the part of the students, and then we continued online.
Okay, good. Let's see. Shall I stop the sharing? My share?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Juliana?
Yes, I'm sharing the screen.
Okay.
Okay, Juliana, we can see.
Can you see anything?
Yeah,
yes, we can see.
So try to be shorter, please, Juliana. We want to.
Of course.
Okay.
So, hello everyone, my name is Ursan Juliana, and the topic of my speech is learning by teaching, a different way to spark and share knowledge and interests with our mates. It goes without saying that the nowadays society is in a continuing process of progress and development, and all the progress is being achieved through a colossal way of learning, stocking, and using in a rational way all the accumulated knowledge. As a result, there have been introduced various ways of learning, some of them being more successful than the others.
One of the most promising and innovative of them is learning by teaching, although it is something new and not verified by all of us. That's why in this speech, I'm going to prove why learning while teaching is an ingenious way of stocking useful knowledge. First of all, let us take a look at the explanation of the expression learning by teaching. It is a method of learning where students are expected to comprehend material and then prepare a lesson in order to teach something new their mates. This method is intended to help the presenter enhance his own understanding of the material and to prepare a new lesson for their mates. In contrast with the ordinary way of gaining fruitful knowledge from our teachers, it involves not only our own implication, but also the ability to select the necessary information before the lesson, to plan all the activities for managing, to involve all the students into the lesson, and to practice a fluent communication. But still, the main question remains open. What is the main concept of learning by teaching? Well, explaining some new information to somebody else, you discern it better, and the person that listens to you understands you because your aim is to explain it as easy and as creative as you can. When it comes to talk about my experience of learning by teaching, I can say without any doubt that I'm already acquainted with this new strategy of learning. I've been practicing it during the English language lessons, as well as at the lessons of self-development, society, education, and history. Usually, I like to start the lesson with a motto linked with the topic. Then I present the objectives of the lesson to my classmates and to the teacher. Also, I incorporate some intellectual games at the end of the lesson to test how useful was my lesson to the other students. The thing I admire is that I receive a feedback from my classmates, and the most important, from my teachers. I get wiser after taking into consideration all the recommendations from my teachers in order to develop my future lessons. All of my mates have led at least 3 lessons already, and of course they became more professional, they honed their skills of a mellifluous speech, and they spread their experiences with the others. I found out that the act of teaching someone coupled with preparing to teach leads to a long-term retention of the new information. Meanwhile, only learning something alone leads to a short retention of the obtained knowledge. However, it is not that easy to lead a lesson with a pure success as it seems to be. In this way, I'll share my experience and some tips that must be executed before you start to learn by teaching. The first, make a schedule of all the activities which you have the intention to realize. Inform yourself from internet, books, your own experience about the topic which you want to present. Ask someone to listen to you while you are training your speech, so as you will get used to speak in front of the others and won't get nervous. Plan all your activities with 2 days before the lesson. Be creative while creating them. Use some PPTs with lots of images, videos, posters, graphics, etc. At the end of the lesson, ask your students to play some intellectual games to check the students' understanding of the lesson. Your speech should be short, clear, catchy, so as all the students would understand what you wanted to expose. There are some benefits and opportunities offered to us while learning by teaching. First of all, learning while teaching may initialize you in your future profession. If you like to teach or to train, you may become a teacher. If you get professional and skilled enough, you may open your online webinar, which are quite widespread in the nowadays society. That's why if you haven't decided which sphere of activation you like, try yourself in learning by teaching.
Maybe you'll enjoy it or discover some of your hidden talents. Who knows? I haven't become a teacher nor opened my online webinar, but I can say without any doubt that I have spread my knowledge with the others. And at the same time, I've learned something new which I won't ever forget. Thank you so much for attention, and I hope that my speech was useful for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So it was Juliana, yes, or son?
Yes, Juliana.
Juliana, sorry.
Yes.
So what about becoming a teacher? Is it an option for you?
I don't know if it is an option for me, but I became really interested with this sphere. I really liked to teach and train the others. And I know if you like this sphere, if you like to train the others, you may try to become a teacher. I don't know, but I think this is not my main point.
Okay, so in life, so you want something more that brings you more income than a teacher's job. Okay, so good.
Thank you.
The next one is, yeah, Alona is...
The next one is Anastasia Tolpolaru, and she will speak about motivating students through engaging activities. She will share with us some of her secrets related to our modern students' behavior at the lesson. And maybe she will manage to help us teachers better understand why our today's students, her mates, happen to be sometimes less motivated, and how to raise their interest and what needs to be done to help them achieve more.
Anastasia? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you see my slides?
Yeah, we do. We can.
One second, I don't understand why.
Okay.
Miss Alona,
Yes.
can the second somebody else present, because I have some problems with my computer. I don't know why it doesn't want to work.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
And
so
we'll continue with the next one. So my microphone is on. Just checking. Okay. So words are powerful tools, and reading helps you master them and become more skillful and intelligent. And the miracle of reading books is another project which helped us find out about our reading preferences and develop teamwork and leadership skills even, and during online and offline learning. And in her presentation entitled "Today a Leader, Tomorrow a Leader," Vlada Bulayu will emphasize the importance of books in becoming a culture voucher and a good leader in our society. Let's listen to Vlada.
yeah, Vlada, the floor is yours.
So can I make share screen?
Yeah.
You let me? I can now because somebody else is sharing their screen.
No. So I have stopped sharing.
No, yes, yes, it's okay. Everything's fine. Can you see my?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
So let's start. Hi guys, my name is Vlada and I'm so happy to be with you today. And I want to speak with you about an interesting topic in my opinion, and how can books help you to become a better leader. The main points of my presentations are why do I consider books important in becoming a good leader, things you need to know and how books and projects help us, and my own experiences, the skills I gain from books, learning nowadays, some opportunities and benefits you get from reading, and in the end, a small conclusion. I chose a quote for today. If you don't like to read, you haven't found the right book yet. So let's start. Learning nowadays. As students, we all face a lot of challenges, and our learning in school is limited to academic topics which are selected by authorities, considering the common interest of the state, which means passively learning facts and then reciting them out of context. But this is no longer sufficient to prepare students for living in today's world. And in my opinion, a huge opportunity is to learn beyond academics, and this is by participating in a project that requires both fundamental skills, math, reading, writing, and 21st century skills like teamwork, problem solving, and time management. With this combination of skills, students become manager of their learning process, also guided and mentored by a skilled teacher. It is known that children have various learning styles, and we all build our knowledge on varying backgrounds and experiences that allow us to use all modalities in the process of researching and solving a problem, then communicating the solutions. And we all know that when children are interested in what they are doing and they can use all their strategies, they make everything at a higher level. So we have this opportunity, and our teacher helped us to participate in a personal development project where group work, knowledge, and responsibility from each member were a must. We had the opportunity to learn, and thanks to this project, we learned how important books are and how you should be a good leader. But why books are so important, here is what we learned. Books are important because they are like magic portable. Reading a book, good book not only gives you knowledge, but a kind of pleasure that we cannot find in other places. And while we read a book, you feel fresh, energetic, happy, and full of confidence to that topic. And we all know that books don't only give us knowledge, but a kind of wisdom of all kinds. And I can say that my perspectives, my ideas, my way of thinking, my imaginations, they are all built by books I have read, and nothing can add more to our intellectual than books. Well, books learn us a lot, but how can help you to become a good leader? Okay, here I have some reasons why you should start reading more, because first of all, reading makes you a better thinker. Another reason is that reading makes you a better communicator, and this is so important because you should be confident and express your opinion with this kind of good emotions and something like that. And also, reading challenges people, and last but not least, reading gives you opportunities to interact with others. In conclusion, I want to say that this year, through the project I participated in and through everything I learned, I developed multilaterally, and I learned that books are those bonds that help us to become personalities, and behind a good leader are always good books, experience, and a lot of hard work. I highly recommend you to read because it will help you a lot, and thank you so much for your attention. That's all.
Thank you, Vlada.
Yeah, thank you, Vlada. So can you give an example of a book? Can you recommend a book that we can read? And okay, so that can help us become leaders.
Yes, I can say that I am an avid reader, and right now I read the book Agony and Ecstasy. It's about Michelangelo, a very known artist, and I really highly recommend you this book because I appreciate the passion he put in his work. I learned that I need to put passion in everything, and because I made the art lessons too, I always try to be creative, and I learn a lot from his. And if you're an artist or you love art, I recommend you this book, and you will not regret to.
Yeah. Okay.
Oops.
Yeah. Okay. So your conclusion is a leader, a good leader, is a passionate leader.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's good. I don't know who's next.
Yes. So while reading a book, actually we live thousands of lives. We laugh along with its characters, we cry along with them, we dream, we fail, and then we succeed with them hand in hand. Our next charming presenter, Andrea Kuleva, would like to show everyone how books are really our friends, how they stay with us, how they support and even disappoint us, just like our friends, because there is no friend as loyal as a book.
Yeah, Andrea, the floor is yours. Okay, so I have stopped sharing if you need to share.
Yes, so thank you. Just 1 second to share my screen. So can you see?
No, not yet. Okay, now yes.
All right. So my name is Andrea Kuleva, and I would like to talk to you and share my thoughts on books and how comes that there is no friend as loyal as a book. Well, we all need someone to be by our side. We all need friends who would listen to us when we need it, who would advise us, who would guide us. A good friend is one that is patient, understanding, the one that makes us feel comfortable in our own skin and doesn't judge us when we are mistaken. However, we will find it sometimes difficult to make new friends, and undoubtedly, life without friends is quite tough. So, what do we do then? Can books be our friends? Are they really the man's most loyal friend? Well, firstly, in order to answer those questions, I feel like I owe to tell you about my story and my journey with reading, and how I realized how much I needed all the books I've read and haven't yet. Well, truth be told, in my childhood, I hated books, like unfortunately many other children, of course. Despite my mom's efforts to force me to read her favorite book that she remembered from her childhood, like both written by Jules Verne, Mark Twain, Jack London, I still rejected every single one. Even though, through a miracle, I took a book from the shelf, I would still skip half of the pages and end up being upset, of course, because I did not really understand what the storyline was about. Therefore, I gave up on reading and convinced myself that it is just not my cup of tea. Well, besides my story with reading, or better said, the lack of reading, I was also a very unsociable kid who didn't have any friends and didn't even try to make one. Every time my classmate would ask me to catch up, I would turn down their invitation and stay at home alone. But so happened that in one day when loneliness came at the end of my tefa, I finally took a book and started actually reading it. The name of the book was The Secret Garden, written by Frances Hudson Bennett. Indeed, it was not easy to read it and to actually reach the last page, as I have never done it before. But surprisingly, I did manage to read the last 375th page. So I closed the book and I realized that not only did I finally finish the book, but also was sad that it has actually ended. I remember a strange feeling of losing something, of ending something so abruptly and so unwillingly. I then tried to make myself busy so I couldn't be sad. But at the end of the day, the story of the little girl and her friends and the picture of the secret garden was stubbornly refusing to go out of my mind. So I then promised myself that I will read with no stopping so that I couldn't feel the disappointment of a book being done reading. And every time I would finish one, I would then start another. And as a consequence of that promise, I started reading book after book. Day by day, my mind would fill up with characters, stories, lives, smiles, tears, with dreams. I woke up with a character in my mind and went to bed with another one. They became my actual friends. Well, now I am a 16 years old teenager. Now I've got friends in real life. I became more sociable. I go out with my friends. We advise each other. We laugh at one another. We have common dreams and we visualize our future together. And it's true that we might have forgotten about reading. But as in 2020, the pandemic came into our world, things just messed up all at the same time. We, the teenagers, became more depressed. Our school became very stressful. We couldn't get out anymore, and we were forced to become unsociable again and began feeling lonely and anxious. And in these circumstances, the first thing I did was to open a book and read it. So my reading routine was back, and all of a sudden, I was not feeling alone anymore. My old good friends were finally back into my life. The thing I am truly trying to tell you is not that books are better than the real friends, no. But when all is lost, our relationships are broken, and our connections with the real world are just messed up, the books are always waiting on the shelf for us to read them. They're never going to leave. They will always stay with us in the hardest times. We live in a world where everything changes so fast. In the place of letters came emails. Instead of typewriters, we now have computers. But one thing that is always going to stay the same is the books. In all likelihood, this one thing will never change. To sum everything up, by all means, no book will ever replace our friends, but it can be one of them. Because books are nothing but stories, people's stories, stories that we humans can't always wait to hear. Books are people that stay with us forever, that follow us wherever we go and stay with us when nobody does. They do not judge us, and as once John Green said, great books help you understand and they help you feel understood. They take us wherever we want and help us escape from the woes and troubles of life. They make us be better even though they do not preach us. They help us become wiser and find solutions to queries of the soul. That's why I encourage everyone to read. Whether you're a child, whether you're a parent, a teacher, a doctor, or an engineer, I encourage you to read and to find your peace in a good book. Well, how to know that it is a good book? Well, as once Paul Sweeney said, you know you've read a good book when you turn the last page and feel a little as if you have lost a friend. Thank you everyone for listening to my speech, and hopefully now we all have learned more about the importance of the relationship and the bond between humans and books. Thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. And my question is, so is reading addictive? What do you say? What do you think?
Excuse me?
Is reading addictive?
Yes, I think so, because I think that's the point of the book, because they are here to.
Okay, so good. It's addictive. Okay, you said yes.
Okay.
Is it a good addiction or a bad one?
Well, I think everything comes in good proportions. Well, as long as you read a few hours a day, or at least that's how much time you have, it's okay. But still, it's important to not forget about the real world.
Okay, so it's an addiction? Yeah, okay, so is it worse or better than playing computer games?
Oh, it's way better. Actually, I do not really play computer games, but I think it's way better because people have, I think it's more interesting for us. We meet a lot of people, a lot of stories. We learn a lot of things. It's very educational.
Okay, so good. So that's your opinion, because you can learn a lot from computer games as well, and we develop skills that you need for the modern world. Okay, but anyway, so thank you for your presentation. Somebody said that reading books sometimes can become a very bad addiction. Okay, so that's, yeah, but you said you need a balance and you need to monitor your your addiction. Okay, good, Andrea, thank you. And yes, Alena, who's the next one?
So we invite Anastasia if she managed to solve her technical problem.
Yes, excuse me, I have, there were some problems with my computer.
Okay.
So
Anastasia will tell us about motivating students through engaging activities and share some tricks, some tips. Let's listen to her.
Okay, yeah, Anastasia, try to be as, okay, so very quick.
So you can see my slides, yes?
Yeah, we do.
Yes, I can see.
Okay. So my name is Anastasia. I am in the 10th grade, and I represent the Republican Theoretical High School Aristotle. Today I will tell you about motivating students through engaging activities. So I will start with Benjamin Franklin states, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn." So motivation is the basis of any independent activity. Motivation means the investment of personal resources such as will, talent, energy, time, knowledge, etc., in order to achieve the desired goal. Usually teachers believe and rely on high students' motivation. They hope the students are eager to learn, to get a lot of information, but when they face the reality, they are really disappointed. Teachers always meet three types of students: those who are very motivated, who are not motivated at all, and mixed group of students. They are most common. Pupils, in turn, are often not satisfied with the learning process. Their complaints are quite often formulated as if the teacher was not able to teach us anything. They expect that knowledge will miraculously transfer from the teacher to them without any extra effort. My teacher experience started in the 6th grade when I started trying to teach first graders, and it continues to these days. When I have just started trying myself in the role of teacher, I have realized that the students were not interested in what I was telling them. This was due to the fact that I have too much information, and they simply became too lazy to accept and listen to all this information to the end. It became clear that the problem was not in them, but in me and in my incorrect methods of presenting the topic. So, after all, what does the motivation of the students depend on? Why is motivation important, and how can a teacher motivate us, students? Today, I will show you some life hacks that have helped me to motivate my students and will certainly help you. First, let's take a look at what motivation and stimulation are. Motivation is what causes you to act. Whatever is getting a glass of water to reduce thirst, or or reading a book to gain knowledge. In the same way, stimulation is the cause of act generally. It means that the combination of stimulation and motivation is the way of a truly effective learning process. From this, we can make a choice that both of them are responsible for the process of effective teaching, the students and the teacher. In my practice, it was like this. After my first failed attempt as a teacher, I start to sort out possible options for my failure, and I came to the conclusion that I needed to interact more with students, even with the blackboard. When I began to conduct various games such as puzzles, riddles, role play, quiz, and lawyer games. After that, I saw significant changes. Students become more involved in lessons. They were more active in lessons. They listened to me, and the level of teaching in the classroom rose sharply. After I saw that, I started to deep in the meaning of motivation and its different types. So Dale Carnegie states, there is only one way in the world to induce people to do something, to make a person want to do it. The students need to explain how knowledge will be useful to him in the future. And if the teacher answer in the spirit of useful in life, when the students lose interest. Students come to a professional educational institution not only for knowledge, but also for that, in order to become a good specialist in his field. Therefore, the teacher must be able to prove the students that his subject will really help him in their future activities and in his job. Respectively, Teachers should interest students. You can create a situation for them in classroom in which they could defend their opinion, take part in discussion, find several options for a possible solution to resolve a problem, and act in a team, sure. For younger students, developmental games are very useful for their interest in learning. The main point is that this game should be easy, understandable, and interesting for children. You can choose games that are very easy to play in class. For example, continue the phrase, graphic dictation, etc. Such games help to develop self-control, communication skills, and of course, love to learn. For all the students, more serious games are suitable. Use role plays or stimulation that require learning participation. And now I want to show you other activities to engage students. You can ask students to write about important aspects of their lives, for example, journals, or stage a change your mind debate with students part of the classroom to signal change in opinion during the discussion. It calls value line. So conduct a role play. Conduct frequent debates on interesting and important topics such as equality, society, school, discrimination. Use interesting platforms, for example, Kahoot, Pool Everywhere, Seesaw, quizzes. And in conclusion, I want to say that as a student who has been in the role of a teacher many times, I understand how important it is to stimulate students through engaging activities. This always changes the attitude of the students to the teacher and makes the team more united. It is important to understand the level of motivation of the children and help them to improve themselves and gain knowledge that in the future will help them to become a truly professional in their activities. And thank you for your attention.
So thank you, Anastasia. Yes.
Yes.
So is becoming a teacher an option for you? No.
Sorry, I don't hear you.
Being a teacher, is it an option for you? No.
If you are talking about my future job,
yeah, career,
I don't think, because it's interesting, but it's not for me. I want to do law, but I think for some people that love children and love teaching somebody, it's a good profession. It's a good job.
Okay, so you advise people to become teachers, but you say no, but it's not for me. Okay, so good, still very challenging job. Okay, and yeah, good. Alona, who's the next one?
I think anyway, this experience is good in each profession, because it can be a teacher in a sphere, in a leader. It also a teacher. Actually, we know that a teacher should be an actor, a musician, an artist, and so on and so forth. So
yeah.
Okay.
So we have 5 more speakers. Yes. Okay. Can you be more? I mean, to present, so respect the time limit, because it's
okay. So movie-based projects or filmmaking in the FL classroom is another project we implemented during the pandemic. And although our students were at home at a distance learning, they found a way to express themselves through movies while creating short films to raise awareness about the climate change caused by human activities, and to talk, and they even took part in EcoCall 2020 project initiated for raising awareness about climate change issues among youth around the world. Making short movies is definitely a challenging experience, but at the same time, it helps the learners to express their feelings, impressions, opinions in an artistic way, and at the same time to improve their abilities. And our next presenter, Madalina Solnik, will tell us more about movie-based projects to boost students' 21st century skills, whose speech aims to explain how filmmaking projects can play a key role in supporting the development of students' 21st century skills.
Yes, I'll share my screen if you let me, please. Stop. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Srnik Madalina Kamelia. I'm from Chisinau, Republic of Moldova, and the topic of my today's presentation is movie-based projects to boost students' 21st century skills. Nowadays, there are a lot of online methods through which students can improve their abilities. One of these is the process of making movie-based projects. It plays a key role in development the essential 21st century skills among students. But what do we mean when we say 21st century skills? Well, we refer to certain abilities such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, etc., that today's students need in order to succeed in their careers during the information age. In the following, I will list 3 advantages of making movie-based projects and skills students can develop during this process based on my own experience. First of all, filmmaking can consolidate understanding and retention of information. Making a movie requires a thorough research on a topic, an analysis of various sources of information, and a personal approach to it, which helps the development of critical thinking. In my case, when I had to do a short video report at my English classes about the alternatives to plastics, I searched for information on about 6 websites. On many sites, it was written practically the same information, and reading the same things for 6 times, trust me, has made its effect. Now, even though more than a month has passed, I still remember that information. And if you ask me something about the alternatives to plastics, I will know what to answer you for sure. Another thing I've learned after doing the movie is that it can be reviewed as a reminder of previous learning. The second advantage I would like to speak about is the fact that filmmaking is a great team building activity. Team working boosts almost all the skills you need for becoming the best version of yourself. For instance, creative thinking is enhanced by developing ideas, writing skills and literacy are expanded by script writing, organizational skills are progressed by becoming a part of or even leading a crew, productivity is encouraged by mutual motivation, and communication is strengthened by learning how to effectively convey ideas among different personality types. Moreover, in times of remote learning, making films together is a way of allowing students to feel closer and less isolated from their peers. In my case, I have to say that working in a team online was a challenge for me because in most of the cases, I choose to work alone and I like it. As I have worked on 2 videos, one alone and one with a team, I will compare these 2 experiences. In the first case, everything was as usual. Firstly, I had a brainstorm, then I made the script, chose the music, and recorded. I was working in my comfort zone. In the second case, I noticed that the thrill and joy of working on a project arises from the diverse mixture of ideas coming from students involved. Also, my teammates I worked with were on the same wavelength with me, thus it was really easy to understand each other and nice to hear that we have the same opinions and ideas regarding our topic. And last but not least, filmmaking develops key computing skills. Having technical filmmaking and editing skills can be a key catalyst for a future career. I don't know why, but it always seemed to me that in order to make a quality movie, you have to take some courses, to buy applications, but in fact, everything is so easy only if you if you know how to correctly use your internet, your phones, or your computers. Even if at the beginning I have spent about 3 hours to figure out how the movie application works, in the end it caught my attention and interest so much that after I already presented the project, I was still searching for new techniques to improve the material for my own pleasure. And another thing I've learned after doing the movie is that yes, it requires a lot of time and concentration, but nothing compares to the satisfaction of the final result. And speaking about the final result, I would like to share with you my final result, one of my final results, a short movie called My Planet, through which I tried to raise awareness about climate change. And by the way, I did it using only the internet and my phone. So let's watch it together.
Hi, no, you're not dreaming. This is really an amazing part of our planet. Besides the fact that the nature we see is of a dizzying side, it gives us everything we need for living. Our forests, rivers, oceans, and soils provide us with the food we eat, the air we breathe, the water we irrigate our crops with. We also rely on them for various goods and services we depend on for our health, happiness, and prosperity. Now, you're also not dreaming. Maybe you're surprised. This is another part of our planet. It looks like that because of our harmful and careless actions. Intensive deforestation, pollution, increased use of fossil fuels, and plastic begin to make their presence felt more and more. Sadly, these are the causes of many environmental issues we have to face nowadays. Can you make a difference?
That being said and shown, I'd like to end with the fact that making short movies is definitely a challenging experience, but at the same time, it helps learners to express their feelings in an artistic way and, of course, improve the skills they will definitely always need, regardless of age or job. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Madalina. What's the tool that you have used making the?
Well, I used only the tool from my phone, which I had at the beginning, iMovie. It is called iMovie, and that's all. And some sources from internet that I searched.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madalina. Frankly speaking, Irina Kojukaru is another of my students who impressed me a lot. I learned that actually she often uses the possibility to film and edit videos, even when doing her homework, and not only. And it's not just a hobby for her, it is a way of expressing herself, of sending a message to the world. And today she will share with us her experience and even some tips of better using a camera to render your inner feelings and thoughts and to make yourself heard.
Hello, everyone. My name is Irina, and Mrs. Teacher will help me with the presentation. I can share myself. So I am going to present a new way of expressing yourself, filming. Imagine you are living on an island far away from your home country, but you have the chance to get news each week about your family and friends. If you have to choose between written news and film information, which will you choose? I'm sure that almost everyone will choose the movies, the filmed reportages, because a video can share more things than a written article. Which is more interesting to see, words or action? And next slide. A video is more than a simple information which has to be received. A video can share feelings, a very important thing to capture attention and convincing a human being. Feelings play a big role in communication. That's because the emotional section of our brain processes information in 1/5 of the time it takes the cognitive section to process. That's why a video is more likely to be received and understood than a simple text with a small information, with a small photo. Personally, I am fond of media art, including photographing and shooting. Since I was 15, I have been filming different kinds of videos, including reportages for a national TV channel, short films for presenting different organizations, and just videos for awareing people. And recently, I found that I can combine the useful with the pleasant, doing my school projects in a filmed variant. I think that this way of evaluating students will be practiced in the near future. Next slide. If before students made their projects on posters and sheets, now the method of PowerPoint presentation is practiced, which is becoming more and more boring and predictable. Working on the same presentation template inhibits the sense of creativity and lets us into a comfort zone. We all have access to a mobile phone which has at least one camera, the all you need to make a video, plus some creativity, of course. We can, just a second. For having a good film, the result, we should begin with developing an idea. What topic we have, and to know which message we want to share from the video. My video projects are simple and cute, but they have a deep meaning and message. I followed some simple steps. I used my previous experience in editing a video and think I did a good job. I invite you to see one of my works, a video about plastic pollution.
Earth. It is the only place where I can live. I love the plants, the animals, the humans. But not all the humans, only the responsible ones. Because, in the other hand, I hate the people who are making mess in my home. For example, throwing away the plastic. I know, it is a dangerous thing for my life, but I don't hate the plastic. For example, this recipient is made of plastic. It's a useful one. I can use it a lot of time. But this bottle is also made of plastic, but I use it only once and I put it in a recycle bin. As I said, I hate people who are irresponsible because they don't care about the plastic they throw. It also has its life cycle. Today is a bottle, tomorrow it will be a recipient for shampoo. If you leave him in the place you relax or you just don't hit the bin, you will stop the life of that plastic, which has in turn bad effects for nature. Just imagine you are a plastic bottle. Will you be happy if you are thrown away in mud? If it's difficult for you, don't take care of my home. Take care of your plastic, because it also has the right to live.
Okay, I think there were some connection problems because it wasn't presented
I love
how
my home,
it is.
the earth.
So I know this video isn't made in a professional way, but it has a clear meaning and interesting message. I was appreciated for this video in the 1-minute film contest organized by Meta Moldova. Next slide. Okay, this is the certificate. Okay, next. So for having a good video result, you should follow some simple steps. First, I wrote the scenario and the text I should register for my film. This part is easy when you have some experience with writing articles and essays. You should have an introduction, better an emotional one, which implies a rhetoric question, your opinion, or just an interesting fact about your topic. The body of your text should include some arguments for sustaining your position. They can be presented in different forms. My two video projects have different structures, but both of them have persuasive arguments which can provoke awareness. So I have now a video about gender inequality. The conclusion should include an emotional advice to have a bigger impact on the audience. A very important part of making a good video project is to find the place you are going to film. My video about plastic pollution I had filmed near a river, the river Nistru, where a lot of people go to a picnic. They usually don't care about the mess they do and they live in the nature. That's why on the river bank you can always see plastic packaging, food boxes, and etc. So I thought that this is the perfect place where I can film, because it presents the real situation which could make people think about and to act correctly in the future. Okay. So the place you want to film should be in accordance with your topic and with the message you want to convey. And last but not least, a video should have a suitable background music. Videos have a good reputation as a visual medium, but a look at the history of silent films shows that we are also addressed audibly by a film. Music touches us, makes the moving images seem more romantic, more beautiful, or more interesting. I used a dramatic song because I treated two sensible topics for the modern society, pollution and gender equality, aiming to raise awareness by provoking emotion. And the conclusion, next slide. The conclusion is that we should film more because a video brings us closer to the topic, being able to feel the same emotions as the video maker has. A video presents the real shape of things, even if they are pleasant or unwelcome. Just look at things differently and think about how you can translate them into a video in an interactive and engaging way. Referring to school tasks and projects, ask the teacher if you can do a work in a different form than a simple PowerPoint presentation. Be innovative in everything you do. This is the shortest way to success. And I had another video about gender inequality, but I don't think we have time.
Just 1 minute, if you don't mind.
Have you ever felt that you're tired of everything? Tired of cleaning? Tired of washing? Tired of doing things that you don't want to? Maybe tired of suffering? Are you feeling obliged to do something instead of doing what you like? If yes, you are a prisoner of your life. If you are in such situation, it is difficult to escape, sometimes impossible. You are obliged to serve someone, to make someone feel comfortable, but you don't have time for you, for your hobbies and interests. Doing things that stop you growing will make you feel confusing, depressed. You will find a peace of mind in things that destroy you. You think that tomorrow will be better, but you will have the same every day. Anxiety, depression, loneliness, dependence, fear. Stop being someone's servant. Stop being someone's toy. You are a human who has interests, hobbies, freedom. Just leave the habitat you live in and take your dreams with you. Be free. Feel free. Sincerely, a woman.
So I want to say that creativity is intelligence with having fun. And these are the words of Albert Einstein. And this is actually the final of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I don't know who's the next one.
Okay, thank you, Irina. So as you can see, learning remotely can boost our academic knowledge in a much more efficient way even than doing it face to face. Unfortunately, not everyone is skillful at using them properly to achieve more in less time. Konstantin Balaban's presentation will provide some information about the resources and techniques he uses to learn languages specifically French and English, and basically any academic information such as biological terms in the long run, the flashcards, as well as the techniques. So let's listen to Konstantin.
Yes, thank you. Could you please stop the share screen?
Alina? Okay.
Yes, so I hope you can see it. So hello everyone, welcome to my speech on the subject learning remotely, achieving more. First of all, I would like to give a short overview of my presentation. When we first entered the COVID lockdown in March 2020, due to the spread of new virus, then the not so well-known COVID, we perceived this as a small vacation where we can rest from our daily routine. But as the time passed and the current situation hasn't changed, it has become obvious that we should start working on ourselves remotely, even though it may appear less productive. Although that's not the case at all. So learning remotely is as efficient as physical attendance. Sometimes it can be even more efficient due to some advantages which are obvious. So I decided to share with you my experience on this topic to be more concrete on how to use this amazing opportunity of learning online to its full potential, providing some tips and feedback. So let's move to the main theme, the use of Anki flashcards for memorization. During the first lockdown last year, I have discovered an amazing app that changed my whole understanding of academic memorization. So the so-called Anki is a cross-platform mobile and computer flashcard program that makes remembering things easy. Because it's a lot more efficient than traditional study methods, you can either greatly decrease your time spent studying or greatly increase the amount you learn. Anki, which stands in Japanese for memorization, is using spaced repetition, which is a technique from cognitive science for fast and long-lasting memorization. It uses a lot of it uses the flashcard system with sophisticated scheduling, so you can learn each card the minimal number of times it takes to memorize it. The basic principle is that it shows you the front of a card. It can be whether a definition to a word or the reverse, a picture, a question, or all together. So after you decide what do you think the back of the card is, you click on a show answer button. Then you tell Anki if you're right or not. If you're right, you choose normal, easy, depending on the facility of the card, and the card is going to appear next time, not tomorrow, but for example in 3 days, a week, and so on. If you are not right about a card, you can choose again and your whole progress on this card disappears. Thus, you have to study this card again. The interval starts from the beginning. The advantage of this type of memorization is that it's not a short memorization for a day or two, and the information dissipates later on, but a memorization for a long period of time. Thus, you have to practice daily. So, for example, we are studying French vocabulary. On the front of the card, we see a word phrase, let it be the French gâteau. If we are struggling with the pronunciation, we could also add an audio file of this word from resources such as Forvo that are completely free. So on the first run, I don't know what this word means, so I open this. I don't know what this word means, but however, I have the audio. Yes. So I open the second part with a single click, and I see the translation definition, cake, as well as a sentence where the word is used in context. When this word comes the next time in the random row, I already know the translation, so I press easy, and I'm going to repeat the same procedure in 4 days. As I'm using Anki for more than a year, I gathered some tips for a better experience. The first tip would be to say the answers out loud. Just thinking about the answer and then checking it leaves too much wiggle room for your mind to rationalize that you kinda, sorta did get the right answer. This is doubly for learning a language, as you are repeating the same time the pronunciation, not only the written form of a word. The second tip would be to not use a shared deck, but to make instead of that your own notes. Even though Anki provides such an opportunity, creating your own deck is part of the educational process, as you gather only the information that we need. The third tip is the most obvious. As I said, you need to practice every day. If you want to make out of learning things a routine, you need to do that. Anki also provides some advanced statistics, which may be beneficial to you, as you can see your progress and the fact that you are driving into the right direction. So the flashcard method requires some sort of discipline, but it is worth it. Thanks to the Anki vocabulary, I could enhance my vocabulary with about 2,500 words in English for my future TOEFL exam and almost 3,000 words in French. Thus I could pass from A2 to B1. And also it helps me for my biology exam and Olympiad. The app is actually quite unknown to the general public, but it remains extremely popular among medical students or language learners. So finally, I would like to say that the whole online learning process proved me that something new doesn't mean necessarily something bad, and that there could be even more some benefits and advantages in comparison with the traditional way of learning things. The world is changing as well as the educational system around it. And the pandemic just accelerated the disappearance of some remnants. So thanks for attention.
Thank you, Konstantin.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Unfortunately, we couldn't see you. I don't know, maybe some technical problems with your camera.
I should have said. I didn't.
Okay. So our ebook project is another achievement we celebrate today, and it has actually started in class and finished online. Building teams through ebook projects during the pandemic is really important. It can develop students' creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, digital literacy, and last not least, English foreign language communication skills. So in their presentation, Otilia Yerhan and Catalin Recila will speak about creating a bond between classmates while being in quarantine in the process of making an online team project, and how this can help them to strengthen their relationships, to do the best teamwork, and to make the most of online learning while being isolated. You are welcome. Otilia and Catalin.
Yes, I will share the screen right now. I hope that you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So hello everyone. Today, together with my colleague Regina Catalin, we'll speak about building teams through ebook projects during the pandemic. The use of group work in the classroom is one of the most widely researched and implemented teaching approaches in the world. Numerous research studies have shown the benefits of collaborative learning on academic performance, communication skills, and confidence. Because now we're in a pandemic situation, we need to work in teams in an online format. This is a new way of discovering ourselves and our partners, a new way of developing skills and abilities. There are a lot of group works that arouse interest, and a great example are ebooks. Our class during the online lesson made one, and this wasn't just a simple project that was made for grading. It was a way of creating a bond among us. It made us being more united, and we built a powerful team. You wonder how we did that? Of course, it was a hard work, but in the end, it was worth it. At first, we discussed everyone's skills and what they could do. In this way, we separated into small teams such as language editors, book cover designers, graphic designers, photographers, and project evaluators. Separating into these categories helped us work faster, better, and understand the aim of the task easily. We had to write about games and activities that could make us a better public speaker. So each of us had to write 3 examples of game or activities that can help us to speak in public. So the job for language editors was to correct our exposure and the mistakes that we made. Book cover designers had to create a beautiful and interesting cover so that can grab attention of other students. Graphic designers needed to create a design of the book. For example, I worked as a graphic designer and I chose the colors, the text font, I arranged the photos, the details, and of course I collaborated with my partner for this. So we exchanged opinions. Photographers took some beautiful pictures with the games and activities that we propose, and with their help, the book came to life. And last but not least, project evaluation. They ought to evaluate and criticize our work and to help understand our mistakes as a team in our job. Katalin, please.
Katalin, unmute yourself, please.
Okay, I'm sorry. So now regarding the structure of our ebook, our equal contribution to this product and the group work itself, I would like to nominate some advantages and disadvantages that we all observed during the creation of it. So advantages are the division of the complex tasks and responsibilities into parts and steps, so as everyone is involved into this process. The management of the time and the quality of the work is better because of the collective contribution to a product, the opportunity of giving and receiving necessary feedback on a performance, the improvement of understanding through discussion and explanation, the development of communication, formulation, and listening skills, and the mutual challenge of the assumptions in order to create an interesting and favorable product. And now I'd like to share with you some disadvantages. Lack of individual thinking regarding the process of learning new things, unequal participation in the group work that leads to misunderstanding between teammates, personality and idea clashes in a group due to a majority agreement on a specific aspect, which can lead to exclude someone else's opinion. Lack of physical communication and work because of the pandemic situation, unmonitored performance and the frequent breaks due to circumstances, and last but not least, the burnouts resulted from the quantity of work, especially in other domains and places. At the end, our book was examined and appreciated by our teacher, who gave us a final feedback about the content and collaboration among us, our general mark. So considering all the things mentioned above, I want to say that working together as a single person, united and disciplined, we managed to present a great work where each of us implemented his own experiences and impressions about improving speaking skills. Only through hard work and dedication, we are here today sharing our engagement and interest in this domain. Our book is the proof of a great work and mutual understanding between us, despite the hard circumstances and other problems occurred. And personally, I am glad to be a part of this incredible journey near people who contributed to the enlivening of some brilliant ideas into this ebook that we are presenting to you today. Thank you for your attention.
Yes, so in this way we can show quickly our book, the book that we made. So a quick tour to see it. Here you can see the content of the book, for each person, a little biography and the game that she or he proposed. We even use QR codes here so that people that want to play the game or to see the activity could access easily. And we use colors that could be interesting for everyone. So that was all. Thank you.
Thank you, Otilia. Now you have your own book and you can share it with the other generations, with the other students, and they can learn from you and they can practice those games and they can come with their own ones. And good job.
Okay, so thank you very much. How did you collaborate? Because it was a collaboration work, cooperation, yeah? Did you meet or did you work online? Did you meet online or offline? So what was the...
Well, at first we worked offline. We presented games and activities in physical format. So in this way, we wanted to create even a book that could teach another students how to speak in public and how not to be so nervous. So because after that we had to learn in an online format, we worked like this. We meet on Zoom or Google Meet platforms and discussed about everything that we need to right then.
Okay, good, thank you. So good job. Everybody has done a very good job. And you have all proven that you have very good English. Okay, so really impressive of 10th graders. Okay, so as far as I understood, you are in the 10th form. So you have proven that you have very good public speaking skills. Okay, critical thinking skills, and of course, okay, I was very impressed by your teaching skills that you even can teach. Okay, and of course, you are very digitally literate. Okay, so a good generation, very knowledgeable, intelligent generation. We are proud to have, okay, because you are going to be our future and create the future. So we are proud that we have, yes, this kind or that kind of children that, yeah, are going to make the future even better than the present. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and if
Thank
you do not, yeah, if you do not mind, can you please write an adjective? So, okay, the way you felt today or during the session in the chat, yes? Okay, some words of praise, okay, whatever. Awesome job, inspiring, whatever, motivating. Just as a final word. Okay, so good, Konstantin. Well done, good. Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's good. Perfect. Advantages, okay. Yeah, interesting and fancy. You're very fond of the word fancy. Okay, any other? Yeah. Okay, it's good. Thank you very much. So may all these enthusiasm that you proved today and have shown today be with you all your life. Yes. And okay, wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Still, do not forget to take care of yourselves and wear masks. Okay. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Have a nice
Bye.
day. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye.